Can't have splash. Hi everyone, good evening. My name is Chavez, and I want to thank you all so much for being here tonight. In today's topic, I would like to share out my point of view about the different types of entertainment that there are out there, especially the types of entertainment that use wild animals or animals itself. One of them is circuses, and my perspective changed a few years ago when I started researching a little bit more about the topic and how animals were being hurt. And I would like to share out that with you, so hopefully we can prevent this from happening in the future, or to at least decrease the amount of animals that are being hurt. So animals have been part of performing for many years. These circuses have been around since probably ancient Rome, according to Britannica.com. And back then they were called amphitheaters. And this amphitheaters, they had gladiator combats or the slaughter of animals and other bloody sports. And it was not until the US started becoming a country where circuses were traveling from city to city. So I want to ask you guys, if you knew what went behind the scenes of the circuses, on how they treat the animals, would you change your mind about attending such places? Like I said, my perspective changed, and I would like to share that with you about the information that I gathered throughout this topic. So circuses are not educational. They are harming our wildlife animals, and this is also a public threat to all of us. So why is this not educational? Well, BornFreeUS.org stated that circuses are meant for entertainment, and that is why they are going from city to city. There's no really purpose of any type of education going on with circuses. While they might be entertaining for some adults and children, the truth is that they are harming our animals, and there's no educational purposes for circus. Circus promoters use schools to gather just people to attend circuses, because when they get to the city or the area, they say, well, here are some free tickets, you can take your kids, or here kids, go to the circus, we're in town. And that's how they gather their audience. So after that, some other circus promoters, they will say, hey, you can take your class and the kids can check what it's really like to be very close to an elephant or a tiger. Usually elephants, because they're not as aggressive as other wild animals. And this is what happened to a class in Chicago. A circus was in town, and they said, bring your class, we can show them the behavior of animals. So when they got there, one of the elephants was performing this trick, or trying to perform this trick, and one of the trainers was beating them with a bull hook, and the kids became very frightened because of how much the elephant was screaming. And one of the chaperones was Julie Ferguson, and she said that the kids became very frightened, and this was she gave this testimony to PETA.org. And it said that instead of learning about the magnificence of elephant behavior, the children witnessed human behavior at its worst. They learned the ugly truth about how animals were treated in circuses. Because again, the elephant was supposed to be standing on one of their legs in one of the pedestals. And can you imagine a big animal trying to stand on one of the pedestals in one leg? That's impossible. That's not their natural behavior. This is not educational. So my next topic is, how are these animals getting treated by these people at the circus? Well, although they claim that they use positive reinforcement, the truth is that they are not using any positive reinforcement. In fact, they are using things as electric shock, bull hooks, or sometimes they're even starving them to death. And circuses are just unnecessary, and they are very harmful to these animals. So in this video that I got from PETA, it shows what a bull hook is, and this is that stick right here. It looks like a regular stick, but it in fact has one sharp end, and that's how they trained. And this is at the performance itself. It is not what they use behind the scenes on how they are supposed to train them. And this is just unnecessary. If we can stop these events, we can stop the harm for these animals. So again, bornfreeus.org said that the techniques that are being used are physical punishment, again, electric shock, whipped, beaten, and the use of bull hooks. Some other things that they might use are drugs, and that is so that the animals are not performing at their natural extents of what they know. So how is this a public threat to everyone? Well, again, circuses travel from city to city to city, and a lot of these animals are always in cages, and that's where they poop and they pee, and they don't get the proper health. And at a lot of circuses, kids or humans or adults, they get to be so close to them because they offer rides. And a lot of these animals or elephants are exposed to TB, or they are tested positive to TB, and we are so close to them that we can also become infected. And this was given by bornfree.org, and it also showed that this is a public threat because we are so close, and these elephants are so in distress because they're not performing their natural their natural behavior, and they're performing these tricks. And if you could please play this video, this elephant is trying to do a trick, but it falls into the audience. And this is not right, not only for the elephant to be performing this, but also because this is a public threat. This would not happen if we would not have these wild animals at such places. We can do much more. And in some other cases, elephants would run and they would crash into cars or buildings or even people. And a lot of the times they get killed because of it. So now that I have talked to you guys about how circuses are not educational, how it affects our wildlife, and how this can be a public threat to everyone, I would like to ask you guys again, now that you know about this, would you change your perspective about attending such places? Many countries worldwide have now banned the use of all animals in circuses, including some states in the US. There are laws that are supposed to regulate the trade of wild animals, but our society can do more to stop this cruelty against animals. We can do this by just getting informed and spreading the word to everyone that we know. This is a quote from PETA, and it says, "Elephants, tigers, and other animals that circuses use to entertain audiences do not stand on their heads, jump through hoops, or balance on pedestals because they want to. They perform this and other difficult tricks because they are afraid of what will happen if they don't. They are animal-free circuses where people can go and entertain, but wildlife animals should not be part of the show." If there's any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them.
Thank you all so much.